Okay, then I guess we'll start early because judogerudo just started by accident. So let's just get in the match so we don't miss any action. And layout. Excuse me. There we go. It took a little bit, but you didn't really miss anything. So yeah, we just started really quickly because by accident judo just started. So welcome to the show. Welcome to ZSR. Welcome to the OoT No IM World Tournament. Lower bracket round 2 between judogerudo and dotzo, and with two fantastic commentators, Smash Mac and Arthur
Hello.
Udine. What up?
How's it going, everyone? Hey, what's happening, Trez?
Hey guys.
That was kind of fast.
Yeah, they started pretty quickly this time. Starting on time, it's good.
But it's not too bad because we have something like a little bit under 3 minutes before they really take control of Link, so this can be skipped a little bit. Alright, so Judo is on N64. Is Dotzo on VC? I'm pretty sure he's on VC, right?
Yeah, he's on VC.
Okay, so routes are going to be a tiny bit different at the very start, and then right as adult section comes in. What is Dotzo's PB? I really don't know.
I believe his PB is a 123.15 or 123.11.
Okay, so supposedly Judo has an advantage here because he has 119.40, and I think Dotzo has been playing mostly, let's say, glitchless recently. Whereas Judo has been grinding No I Am No Wrong Words, I'm pretty sure, for the last year or so.
Yeah, Dotzo's... I've honestly never really seen him run No I'm Wrong Warp. But Judo, he's been just doing this category for a long time. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. I wonder if Dotzo's been practicing offline or anything.
He pretty much was playing randomizer non-stop, so...
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I thought the same, but I wasn't sure. Maybe he practiced. I mean, he probably did.
So, No I Am Wrong Warp is a pretty optimized category for both of these versions these guys are playing on. Dotzo will be playing on VC, and Judo is going to be playing on N64. So the goal of the category is basically complete the game as fast as possible without item manipulation or wrong warping. Item manipulation actually encompasses 3 separate glitches: bottle adventure, reverse bottle adventure, and gate item delay. Those are all banned. And then wrong warps and cutscene skips that touch blue warps. So with that, these guys are going to have to go through Spirit and Shadow Temple in order to unlock Light Arrow cutscene. They need the Light Arrow to shoot Ganondorf once, which is honestly, like, most of the errands in this category are all centered around that, like getting magic and getting the Light Arrow. Those are all just kind of centered around being able to shoot Ganondorf. So you're going to see that later on once they become adult. Dotzo is on VC, so he's going to get the sword and shield. Judo doesn't actually have to do that. All he has to do is get nuts and a stick for his child section.
Yeah, so Judo is going 1 stick right now. I was wondering if it was going to go for the West. But I think it's overall safer because it involves getting more rupees, so you put a little more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the reason why VC requires Sword and Shield as child is because see, 1.0 is the version that Judo is able to play on since he's playing on N64, and 1.2 is the version that comes as Wii VC. So the difference is on 1.0, You're able to do this trick called blank A, which allows you to basically do a specific clip inside of the bottom of the well to jump slash with the stick into the chew box room because you need shoes. Whereas Dotzo, he's not going to be able to do that trick because he's on 1.2, so he needs to have the sword and the shield in order to do Ocarina Dive. Ocarina Dive requiring a hover on top of the bubble. And in order to hover, you need to have the shield. So that's important. But in order to hover as well, you need to do a trick called ISG, which also requires shield and like a stabbable item like a stick or a sword.
Okay, Dotso getting 535 on the escape. So Judo's escape was really clean. I think there's like a 10-15 seconds of sloppiness on Dotso's side. There was something going on in the boulder maze I didn't really see. He like messed up the angle for the side hop or so. And then he tried to do the west out of shot, and jump slash was too late, so he just splooshed into the water.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually when I was talking earlier. He jump slashed like 2 frames late or something.
Ended up in the water. So that lost a bit, but then Poke Escape was clean. Okay, so I think Judo goes for the second owl skip here. Usually he does, I think he uses the same setup as we do Valiant, like targeting the fence and then side hop left. So right now, the 2 players just entered Hyrule Field, and when Link enters Hyrule Field, it's the first place that day-night cycle starts to happen. So before, when he was in Kokiri Forest, time was frozen, and now it started running. Okay, he didn't go for that. And when the text box of the owl is up, time actually freezes again. So there's a technique that is actually a bit slower than the movement to talk to the owl and go to Kakariko, but it makes time pass a lot more. And then you're on a cycle to go see the guards later on. So it was actually found to be faster.
So looks like Judo's gonna go for the double nut strat. What he's gonna do is he's going to attempt to do a precise like throwing of nuts to trigger this angry Cuckoo cutscene and then backflip into the well. He looks like he gets it too. What happens there is he, as a result of the cutscene triggering, of the cutscenes getting angry, or sorry, of the chickens getting angry, it allows him to just dive into the water. And when the cutscene's done, he's at the bottom there and can just roll into the bottom of the well.
Yeah, so right now he's doing blank A, so that's the clip that's going to allow him to go to bomb chew. So after this jump slash, Link is in the air, and he can still side out. So that's the big thing that blank A does. Dotso sadly failed the West to skip the owl.
Ooh, what is going on with Dotso? Looks like he failed Navi Dive or something. Meanwhile, Judo's getting the shoes. All right, there we go. Dotso got not Navi Dive now. Dotso's bottom of the well is going to look like basically a lot different than what we just saw Judo do. He's going to come over here, and because he doesn't have access to blank A, he needs to get this guy out of the way and get ISG off of this pot. So I don't know if you saw there, but quickly his sword kind of like just began to glow right before he picked up that pot. So he's got ISG now. He's going to line up with this wall, and from a specific angle, he's going to do this trick called inverted camera, where you see the
nice.
like profile face first try, which is good. And if he gets the hover off this guy, which he does, gets to hover off the bubble. So he's equipping Ocarina. And with a precise entry of the Ocarina, he just dives straight down into the unloaded room here. So that was really good display. If you miss that first cycle, you lose like 23 seconds because you have to wait for the bubble to go all the way back around and come back. So that was good from Dotzo there.
So what both players did was they wanted to access the basement but unload it. And what Dotzo did is while falling, he was playing the Ocarina, and that doesn't actually hit the load trigger if you're playing Ocarina.
Very well executed. He's going to be getting caught here by the Wall Master. So this is actually a little bit faster in VC than save resetting. Was found out, I think last year around summertime. I believe Jolin found it, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, it was with the owl skips.
Yeah, it's cool to see little optimizations like that be discovered even this late into the history and legacy of Ocarina of Time speedruns or speedruns. All right, let's see if Judo. Okay, it doesn't look like Judo's going for the owl skip. There's an owl skip here that you could go for, but
yeah, he didn't go for the first one either. So the day-night cycle would have been like really late.
I gotcha. Okay. So now he's going to be heading over here. He's going to jump down to go towards this seam next to Din's fire. And looks... Ooh. What, that was an interesting setup. I've never seen that version of this setup before. Very cool. I've never seen that version of this setup.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of versions of this setup because you don't need to be that fast because you want it to be day before you enter the guards, and it's actually kind of large, like lenient if you're as good as the players that we see here. It's no big deal. So you can just choose whatever you like.
Oh my dude, this is Judo's been going for the unbuffered damage bomb boost there. So on N64, if you miss that because your health is so low and explosives do half of your heart, it's like if you miss that, it's really really bad because you need to get your health back up some kind of way. So on average, you're losing at least, if you don't reset, you're losing like a minute and a half. If you do reset, it's like 2.5. You only have one chance to get it. So he's going pretty that was really risky, especially in a race. Dotzo with the same trick, because he has the shield, he does have a backup strat. If he fails it the first time, he could do what's called a Chi Mega Flip. So it's not too crazy dangerous for him. But ooh, looks like Judo's got a weird... Okay, he's good. Never mind.
Yeah, he got a weird backwalk. I was kind of scared too.
Yeah, I was weird. I was afraid he was gonna get caught by the last guard there.
Oh, Dotzo using a different setup.
Yeah, Dotzo using a different setup himself. All right, so dude, Judo with a 1248. Did you see this? Judo with a 1248 Zelda. That's actually really good for race.
And that's technically red for him. So nah, he's really good. He's been grinding that, and like being consistent at the child section is so important. Especially because there's so much cutscene, like you really want to get done with this and don't have to retry over and over.
See, Dotzo is opting to do the oh no! Okay, well,
tragic mistake.
That's terrible.
Oh.
Well, at least he gets to actually get his health in the right area. His health was bad before for some reason. So it kind of worked out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you enter into Castle, after going through the crawl space, you're supposed to have at least half, like at most half a heart. As long as you have anything half a heart or under, you're good to go. Because after this cutscene that Judo is watching, there's a skip called it's called ZL cutscene skip, where essentially if you get the bomb to explode in a 3-frame window, Link takes damage while entering the first frame of the cutscene. So as long as you enter the first frame, that's when you're given the reward. So you're given everything that cutscene entails, but you die. So as a result of dying, you don't have to watch the entire cutscene. It's pretty convenient. I believe it saves like 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
a
of
very
time.
big cutscene.
Dotzo with a 1446 Zelda. That's actually not that bad on VC.
VC?
It's not terrible. Like it's okay. So it's
It's like
okay
a
for a race.
minute late, we could say.
Yeah. I'd say judo, even despite the lag, which we haven't really talked about yet. Maybe if you want to talk about that after Arthur. But even after like all the lag factors, judo's probably still like 40 seconds ahead of Dots.
Yeah. He definitely has like a clear good advance.
All right, so judo has 3 frames to pause there because there's certain frames on the chew that you want to start sidewalking there. And as you see, he enters the first frame of the cutscene because he got it off successfully, but he dies. So he's gotten the reward, which is Zeto's Lullaby, but he doesn't have to worry about watching the whole cutscene, so it's good.
Yeah, because the reward is actually given to you on the very first frame of the cutscene for some magical reason. And the cutscenes are not videos. They're really played with the characters that are in game because of memory reasons. And so that's why you can actually like interact with how you start with the cutscenes and try to kind of act on it this way. That's what opens everything for cutscene skips.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. Honestly, this entire game, like, it's the game that keeps giving. It's ridiculous. There's always new stuff being found. It's amazing. It's like hitting a gold mine. Exactly. It's a beautiful masterpiece that wasn't supposed to be a masterpiece.
Okay, so judo is a dot skip. I have never seen judo pause on dot skip.
Correct. Yeah, I believe it goes for it on buffered.
But it's 1 frame Z press. Oh, it misses it. Oh, I'm so sorry, judo.
You jinxed it. It's your fault, Arthur. Well, that's like 20 seconds. So, and he didn't get the fast void either, so it's definitely 20 seconds. So that's room for Dotzo to come back.
Okay, he gets it second try.
Nice. Meanwhile, we see Dotzo getting the Zeo cutscene skip that you're able to do with the shield. So that was good. So it's probably going to be like an 1805 Master Sword or so for judo.
Oh, 18 flat.
Oh,
yeah, he's having a really good run.
Good.
It seems like it.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, judo goes really, really risky on the child section.
He really does.
For race, I don't know if it's that necessary.
Yeah, child sections category is very unforgiving if you miss for both routes. If you miss tricks even once, I mean, you're looking at 20 seconds for even the smallest time loss. It's pretty scary. And then once you become adult, it's just like nonstop action, especially with like the new boat skip and stuff that's come out in the last year.
Cool. It's true. It's really fast paced.
Yeah. So we got Dotzo going for Door of Time skip. He's got to pause this buffer 1 more frame.
Yeah, it's next one or the next one.
There we go.
Oh, he went 2. Okay.
Yeah, he's got 2 frames there since he's on VC, so it's a little bit more lenient, but it's kind of not at the same time because he has to do more inputs, right? So
yeah, and the problem is that if you get first frame, you do one thing, and if you get second frame, you do another thing. So if you do it on buffer, you don't really know which one you get.
Oh yeah, and I mean we've seen VC players do that on buffer all the time, right? So it's kind of remarkable their frame perfect reflect.
But I mean, when we say frame perfect, it's not that crazy because OOT runs basically 20 FPS. So if it was a 60 FPS game, they would call it a 3 frame window, which is quite big on other speed games. So we have big frames in OOT, so it doesn't make things too hard.
That's true. Yep. It's not too crazy. Then again, it's kind of subjective to the environment you're playing on, right? So if you're playing on an environment that can't necessarily handle 60 frame inputs per second, I don't know. It's like your body just kind of adjusts to it. At least for me, it's kind of like a weird phenomenon.
Well, it's true that you get less smooth of a visual cue for the rest.
All right. So Judo going to be talking to Sheik here. Do you want to talk to them about what happens next for these runners? That's a bit different up until like heading towards Gerudo Valley, Arthur.
Yeah, so there's basically like 2 blocks of things to do, and they're gonna do it reverse. So Judo is ahead. So what Judo is gonna do first is he's gonna go to DC, grab bombs, then go grab magic, and then grab minuet. And instead, Dotzo is gonna go grab the hook shot and then go do Shadow Temple. But right after, they're going to switch, which means when Judo is going to be done with all of the first things, so bombs, magic, minuet, he's going to go for the hook shot and then for shadow. So once they'll be done both with those 2 groups of things to do, then they'll save and quit and then go to spirit. And that's when both of their route is going to be actually the exact same. So we'll be able to compare accurately. But for the next minutes is going to be a little bit blurry of who's taking advantage or not. I think we can consider there's like a little bit less than a minute of advantage for Judo right now. So we'll try to just estimate like that.
Yeah, I think he's ahead by about 40 seconds. So one thing we haven't really touched on is the lag differential between consoles, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
So N64 lags a lot more, and it actually lags different in different spots. Like it's kind of weird. Whereas VC doesn't lag really at all. It still has lag in some areas. Like on VC, the lag is actually worse in the Forest Temple, like in the Staphos fights. If you try to kill them at the same time, it's worse than it is on N64. But I mean, besides little small peculiar places like that, it's pretty big difference. Like I think how much time is lost from lag, Arthur? Like a minute?
Just between, let's say, Ganondorf fight and the end of the game, there's probably like 30 seconds of lag. Just on like the Ganondorf fight, collapse, and then Ganon fight, there's probably like 30 seconds. You can potentially consider that there's like 40, 50 seconds throughout the run, maybe a minute. But this is all really, really hard to calculate, and getting that on that is quite boring too.
Yeah, there's not really a way to calculate lag frames right now, so it's still kind of in the air, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah, there's a lag counter, but it's been discussed a lot what it does and if having the lag counter actually makes it lag more or things like that.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. You're talking about on the practice ROM.
Yeah, there's a RAM glitch. Or there's actually like a lag counter, but it's a little weird how it works. Okay, so Dotzo just took control and Judo is entering the Dongo Cavern, so that's about the advantage here. So Judo doesn't have the hook shot and a fairy, so he can't go for Doom Jump. So he has to go quite casually through the Dongo Cavern. He's just gonna like turn some switches and go through some rooms. No huge sequence break, besides the fact that supposedly it's a child dungeon, so you were not supposed to be able to climb that little wall. So that's already half of the dungeon skipped. Dotzo choosing to climb the ledge in CAC instead of going for the stairs. Have no clue how that compares. It's probably good. So if I remember correctly, Dotso is a pretty good glitchless player, so I'm going to be trusting his movement choices and considering what he does is best if I had never seen that.
Yeah, he's pretty solid at glitchless for sure. He knows a lot about the game as well. He's been playing for a while. Dotso's a runner that's been around for a significant amount of time. Looks like he's on pace for like a 48, probably a high 48 Danpei.
Yeah, it was one bomb so far.
Yep.
Okay, and Judo just grabbing the bombs. He went for the setup, so he set up his angle just to make sure he doesn't miss the jump. The jump is not too hard, but you really don't want to miss it. Like, it would lose a lot of time.
So that hallway Judo just rolled down. Typically we back walk down that hallway because of the lag frames.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's actually the only person I've really ever seen on N64 not back walk down that hallway.
He did targeted rolls, which are kind of equal. Like, what you want is the camera to zoom in so that less thing actually load or whatsoever, but usually holding target is a good idea to reduce lag.
Nice. So, meanwhile, as Dotso's getting the hook shot here and voiding out to spawn back at the entrance. Alright, so Judo's doing a Hess to get to the climbing wall here. See if he gets good RNG with these.
First Hess today.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's
at least he landed.
Lucky.
He landed on that. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dotso's doing hookshot jump, so you're interrupting the hookshot animation of you hookshotting something, and it kind of keeps your momentum upward that you were not supposed to keep, and so it throws you in the air onto the seam. What you basically want is to be able to get inside of the entrance of Shadow Temple without hitting the load trigger. The load trigger is like in the middle of the stairway that is actually going downward here. And so he's going to side hop over it so that it's not loaded and he doesn't need Thin's fire.
Well executed by him. So while Judo's picking up magic, and he's going to be heading over through Goron City to Lost Woods and then the Sacred Forest Metal to pick up Minuet. While he's doing all that, though, Dotso's going to be doing probably the first, or I guess second biggest sequence break, but probably the first like hard trick in the run.
Yeah.
Boat skip.
It's like a long trick mostly. It's like you have to do stuff for a good minute without failing.
Yeah. And there are a few scary parts of the trick, especially once you get in the unloaded room down there. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice fight. So on his way to Minuet, you're gonna see Judo intentionally take some damage. It's the same idea as for Zeoskip. He wants his health to be at 0.5 just when he arrives at Minuet. And then it's gonna be same idea for the cutscene skip. And Dotso's starting on boat skip right now. Okay, 1 frame early.
Nice. So far, Dotzo has done inputs on 2 separate occasions. Like, first input was 2 frames, second input was 1. So now he's down here in this unloaded room after some movement, and he's gonna
And
be
a really nice save.
yeah, very nice save. So that was okay. Just gotta buffer 1 more frame here before he can roll. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 more frames. There we go. So now he's rolling, and he has to buffer to 1 specific frame here, so he can buff. Oh,
This
there we
one.
go. Very nice. So
Cool.
buffering to that frame there, he's actually able to press target on that frame, and the angle that the explosion boosts him is precise enough that it goes into the loading zone behind the door. So now he's inside the boss room, about to fight against Bongo Bongo. So that was good execution by him.
And so now Judo's done with the sequence he had to do, and he's going to be heading to the Dampe race and then to Shadow Temple. So what Dotso is about to finish doing right now. Oh, a little late of a shoot. Okay, that's still going to work.
Nice. Well done by Dotso. Nice. Judo getting the super slide over to Kakariko saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of extra movement in the N64 route compared to VC, but technically having bombs earlier can save you some explosives, and you can use them to go for faster movement.
So what Dotso did in that fight against Bongo Bongo was he used ISG actually. Like, he jump slashed down inside the hole, and then he crouch stabbed, and with the crouch stab got ISG. So the thing about crouch stabs is they don't have a value of their own. So they take on the value of the last damage attack that you did. Jump slash being the strongest does 4 damage. And if you get ISG with that, he just sits there and Bongo Bongo runs into him after you stun both hands, and then just dies after like 6 hits or something. 5 or 6 hits. Each hit
Judo
doing
got
4 damage.
super lucky at the bomb drops in the grass. He got like 2 of them. So now he's full and he didn't need the pot from Dampe's grave.
Nice. That's good.
It's really good RNG. It's not very often that you see 2 bombs. There's 50% chance that cutting all of the grass gives you 1.
Wow.
So I don't really know how to calculate for 2, but
Me neither, actually. I took stats like 10 years ago.
alright, really good race. Judo's on fire.
Judo's got a pretty good time ahead of him. I mean, he's still on PB pace by quite a bit.
Is he? Oh yeah. He's like a little bit behind PB, but not too far.
Nice. Good race so far. So Dotso's getting past one of the 2 main like glitches that are notorious for destroying runs. That's good.
And Judo's gonna go do it. So it looks like Dotso is saving Chews, not using them for any has so far. So he's probably going for Spirit Hover.
Nice. Judo gets the hookshot jump. That's a 2-frame window where you get to press hookshot, so it's good to see that done unbuffered.
Pretty fast seam walk.
Hey, as long as you don't get stuck on here, that's all that matters, because getting stuck on the seam is, like, terrifying.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get unstuck. Like, you would have to jump somehow, and it's so steep that you never know when it's gonna stick to wing speed, even if you have ISG.
Yep. So, do you want to talk about, like, bongo bongo for judo, Arthur?
Oh, yeah, that's one of the big reasons that judo went to grab bombs. So bombs are really nice, also because you can save choose, but the reason is on N64 on 1.0, you can actually load bongo before you jump slash into the hole, and you do that by just dropping a bomb there. And it actually skips the entire intro cutscene of the fight, and then you can jump in the middle and start damaging him directly and just get the kill like that. This saves around 40 seconds.
Yep,
And is
35
like,
to 40 seconds.
yeah, and that's the biggest reason for the route difference between VC and N64.
Correct. Thank you. Did you see if Dotzo fell off a stair, I think? Looked like he fell down.
Didn't see him fall down, but I saw him approaching from a weird angle, so maybe I just watched after.
Alright, let's see how Judo's boat skip goes here.
He's going with bombs, I'm pretty sure. No, it's not. I lied.
Alright, he's got a... Okay, that was good. That was good. So,
really fast.
you have 2 frames to roll there, and if you get the late frame, the timing for the ledge clip is a little bit different. I think it's a frame earlier. So you like the buffering is just a little bit strange. But he adjusted really well. So this is a quick bongo, what we call a bongo fast kill. What Arthur just explained, he just killed bongo. Even though you couldn't see bongo, he was there. Just the room was unloaded. It was loaded, but it was unloaded in terms of like what you can see. So he killed the boss. And
yeah,
like
and in this case, the
seconds.
hitbox is active. Also going for the jump slash.
Nice. This is a good race. Definitely have a good race on our hands, guys.
Yeah, saving bombs here. Looks like dotzo is going just for a backwalk.
It's good that it's good that they both have 4 hearts. Because later on, much later on, like 40 minutes from now or so, both of these guys are going to be doing a trick called Void Warp. And you want to have at least anything over 3 hearts, really. So if you have a backup plan in case you get hit by a rock, which is RNG based, it's good to have 4 hearts.
Yeah, otherwise backing up is basically like just trying to kill Link, and it actually takes a while.
Yeah. It's a miserable while. It's like, man, it only costed me 2 seconds to get that heart piece in the bongo fight.
Yeah,
but now I'm losing a minute.
Rock. Yeah, a minute. And it's very much at the end of the run, and it kind of feels RNG. Like usually when runners are right there on a really good pace, it is so frustrating to lose it to rocks or whatsoever.
It really is.
But yeah, grabbing the heart is what, 2-3 seconds, because you can quick text. It's really fast pick.
Yeah, it's literally like 2 seconds. You only ever see like the highest level runners that are going for world record or something. Skip it. And I think like even in world record, Valiant Link still gets it. It's literally just 2 seconds.
Okay, so Judo just reset it, and let's see when he selects files. So 39:45 on his timer. So right now, Judo is starting to do something that is common to both routes, so we can consider that right now Dotzo is quite a bit behind, maybe a big minute, maybe a bigger minute.
But then if you factor in the lag frames, it's actually not as big as it looked.
Yeah, it makes it quite close. Oh, failing first
Ooh.
pass for Judo. Judo's starting a sequence of like big overward movement in which you don't want to fail those bomb tricks.
Oh my god, he's
His
filled through
bomb
so
count
far.
is gonna look so tight. Okay, let's go.
So you missed 3 bomb hasses there. That's about 12 seconds that Dotso could make up too, because each fuse is like 3.7 seconds.
Yeah,
So,
and it's gonna be sketchy. Maybe he's gonna have to like quit on some strats. Oh, Dotso going for the glitchless jump didn't go so well.
yeah, I mean, Dotso's looking to be about 1 minute and 45 seconds behind Judo at this rate. Oh my god, what is he doing?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Me neither.
Okay, it still worked.
Alright, so...
Judo going for a mega side hop, yeah. Oh,
nice.
I don't like the strat with the backflip. He can turn around and roll.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the backflip either. It's really scary. Okay, so Dotso officially 2 minutes behind Judo.
Yeah, something
as far
like
as
that.
like in-game. So there's probably still about 30-35 seconds left of lag that Dotso doesn't have to worry about.
If not more.
Does. Right, so he's probably realistically like 1 minute and 20 seconds or so behind Judo.
Yeah, and there's like 10 tricks that you actually bet like 2-3 minutes on each, so could catch up. Okay, fails the first Hess. Gets the second.
Oh no!
Oh, he dropped TSS. No, dude. He goes for super slide. Okay, safety option. I think his angle is kind of scuffed. I'm scared that he gets blocked on the left side.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. Oh no, he's good.
Oh, it worked. Really
I don't
nice.
know how that worked.
He probably knows the angle.
Guessed out of it.
And first try gate skip for Judo. Watching that a little bit late, so that's the way that without explosive you can skip the gate and go directly to Wasteland, which is going to lead you to Spirit Temple. Yeah. Oh, Judo not going for Hess. So that's probably because of spending so many bombs on Hyrule Field Hess. Now he actually needs to save on his explosives. And Wasteland Hess, even if it's just half, is actually 20 seconds at least faster than simple movement.
Well, there's a good optimization there by Dotso, actually, I think. With the hover boots opting to do side hops instead of waiting for the hover boots to get their speed with backwalking up those stairs.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Never thought about that. That's pretty smart. So Dotso's still got hover boots on, so he's gonna be probably going for old gate skip here.
Yeah, he was going very left at first. I was not sure, but with hover boots on.
All right, so Judo making it successfully through the Haunted Wasteland. Now he's in Colossus, so it's nighttime here. It's kind of scary to do Spirit Hover at nighttime. At least, in my opinion, on N64, it's just kind of hard to see like visual cues or when to backflip for each hover. Especially on N64, because N64 the picture is not as good in resolution as it is on V.
Or it's very expensive, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have Judo doing Spirit Hover first. Oh, he lost ISG. So he needs ISG for that, and sometimes he needs the help of the Gwei. Never mind. Killing the Gwei. And using a bomb for first hover. Okay, first hover looks really high up, so it should be fine for the rest.
So this is the reason why Judo saved all of his chews. Each chew hover is like 4 seconds saved on a bomb hover, and they're considerably easier than bomb hovers. If you notice, Judo is timing each backflip in respect to certain frames on the bomb. Though we don't really use the frames for each bomb, we typically use Link's breathing as a visual cue for when to backflip. So, nice. He's gotten high enough. This should be high enough. He's going to be backflipping now with Kakiri's onto the scene. So that's good. Yeah, he's good so far.
That looks good. Alright, 7 bomb for a super slide. This should be good. Taking some safety here. So what Judo just did is like go through a door and then go back out. So now if he dies, he'll be voided there. So he wouldn't have to do it again. Or if he would fail this. Oh! Did I just jinx it?
No! He would have been still on PB pace.
So, okay, he doesn't need to do the hover again. He just needs to die. And then he can retry.
See? That's why you go inside that loading zone. If he didn't go in that loading zone, he would be going inside Spirit Temple right now, and Dotzo would have the ability to be like a minute ahead.
Yeah, he would be really ahead. Okay, Dotzo killing the Gwei too. And all the beaches.
Nice. There we go. That's Spirit Hover. It's nice getting the Mirror Shield. That saves 3 minutes. So instead of going through Spirit Temple, and then having to fight against the Knuckle and all that other stuff that's involved, you just do Spirit Hover and you get the Mirror Shield. But this race is much closer than it was now before. I mean,
I'm scared for Dotzo. I think the Gwei's coming. Oh no.
Dotzo's hovers are looking kind of suspect.
I think he's good to go, but I'm not sure he's gonna trust it.
Oh, he's not do one more hover. That's good. That should be good. He should be good enough to backflip.
That's a bit scary because the Gwei still didn't attack, so it's gonna happen really soon. He's gonna hurry up.
Yeah, he really needs to hurry here, otherwise the Gwei is gonna come for him.
I just hookshot this.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Alright, and he's going on the loading zone. That's you saw what just happened to Judo. We don't need that happening to Dotzo. So Dotzo only has one try at this super slide. He gets it. He gets the super slide. Let's see if he gets the jump slash. He gets it. Nice.
Yeah. He does the turnaround jump slash, which I find a lot safer.
Way safer.
More frame or what, but
it just feels safer.
More easy.
Wow. This race evened up really fast.
Yeah, pretty good luck on the Armos from Judo.
Dotzo probably only like 50 seconds behind Judo at this point, if that. Alright, let's see how Judo's going for statue climb. So let's see how the statue climb goes. This is another place where you could lose time. Don't know if Dotzo does statue climb. I think he does the super slide method still.
Oh, really?
I think so. I honestly don't remember.
I would be pretty sure that he's gonna go for a statue climb.
Let's see.
We've seen what happened to Brad the other time.
Oh, that was a heartbreaker.
Judo going unbuffered. Let's
Judo
go.
is insane. Hook shot extension there.
Yeah, the pot that contains bomb is in the next room that Dotzo is going to be entering.
Nice.
By the way, there's a technique to like break the pot and then come back in. Oh, I think he's going to do that. So look at what Dotzo does. He's breaking the pot and then not collecting the bomb drop so that he can unload, reload, and break it again. And you can actually collect up to 3 because after that.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, he got it.
And his health is like perfect too in order to do actually no, it's not. His health is not perfect. You actually need, if he's gonna go for Nibiru cutscene skip, he needs to get at least anything over 2 hearts. So he's probably not going for Nibiru cutscene.
Heart. Yeah, or he's gonna understand that he's not going for it really soon.
Judo going early. Judo up against Nibiru now. Let's see if he goes for the cutscene skip. There is a cutscene skip where you... Yeah. He's always going for it. Okay. So if you die here, you're at the beginning of the temple, you lose like minutes. But if you get it, you save like 23 seconds. Nice. Gets it. Nice job.
It's a really scary one. You really have to hurry up when you put down the bomb and then side hop close to Nibiru. If you're too long, she'll just like take a slash and it's what, 3-4 hearts per slash?
Mm-hmm. It's 4 hearts.
It's 4, so it's 1 shot anyway. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Later on, if you get the heart from here, you can survive a slash if you have 4 hearts in the double knuckle fight in Ganon's castle. That's like the only opportunity you can survive it, or you can survive an attack from Ganon as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, lightning bolt is 3, or is it 2? Maybe 3.
The blast. Jeez, I think it is 3 actually from the blast. I honestly can't remember from the blast, but I know that each attack from Knuckles and Ganon is 4.
True.
So, let's see what happens here. And got Dotzo up against Nibiru, but we also have Judo against Twinrova. This fight has considerable amount of RNG. So let's see what happens there. So Dotzo opting not to go for the cutscene skip. Smart man. Honestly, really iffy to do in race scenario. But
yeah, the RNG is basically like when one of the witches is going to shoot, and then when they're just going to move around. And sometimes the worst that can happen is that they just decide to move, and their next decision is also to move. So they just don't do anything for a while. And you need 4 hits for the first phase to be done.
Right. So on Dotzo's screen, we're seeing him in the Nibiru cutscene, which is what Judo skipped earlier. So he's picking up on Dotzo like 20, 24, 23 seconds by not having to see that cutscene, but Dotzo can easily make that back up if he has a good fight. Judo is honestly getting kind of trolled here.
Yeah, so far it was really good, but last move was really slow. Okay, good.
Okay, good. As long as they don't try to double. All right, that's good. All right, so both of these guys are in the Twinrova fight now, and there's still plenty of run left. I mean, Forest Temple, Ganon's Castle, they're up next, and I mean, they're no slouch. Those temples can make you lose a lot of time. So,
but so far it looks pretty clean for Judo's Twinrova. I don't think he's gonna lose much here. Oh, he's a bit late. Oh, that's a late jump.
Oh my god.
The problem with jumping late is that Twinrova can decide to shoot when you're in the middle of the jump, and then you're going to be too much forward after you crouch for your shield, and you can get hit. But apparently he was fast enough.
let's hope for a clean fight from Dotzo, so it's a bit even, and we don't have to worry about like seeing him go through Spirit Temple again, because that would be tragic.
Oh yeah. In a race scenario, you mainly want to survive Twin Rova. So that's what Dotso is doing right now. Oh, he's getting really trolled, I think. Oh, he got the shot?
Oh my god, nice.
Got it.
That was awesome.
Oh, really complicated shoots. Okay,
Dude, Dotso's doing this on purpose, man. He wants us to scream or something. So, one thing about this fight is you're using the hook shot to keep one of the witches in place while the other one is shooting. Because like once one witch is close and within range of reflecting the beam, you want her to stay there, right? So you just use anything like a hook shot, bow, like whatever will stop her in place or do that like weird invulnerable twisting thing.
Yeah, it's basically a dodging animation that is supposed to tell you that you can't hit this boss with anything else than their own power and the mirror shield. So it's a dodging animation, and as it lasts and you can reset it real fast, you just reset this animation and the Rova is just not moving.
Nice. Judo picking up Spirit Medallion while Dotso's watching the cutscene.
Dotso caught up quite a bit.
He did.
Yeah, there was a minute 30, and right now it's like 40 seconds or maybe 30.
Yeah, I mean, Judo's fight was still worse than Dotso's, I think. So
A little bit, yeah.
also, Dotso's making up a little bit in lag frames because there is a little bit of lag actually in that fight too.
True.
That's why the particles look so much more like beautiful on N64. It's so pretty.
Oh,
Like the
Dotso's
fire.
going for the heart and spirit. His health
Smart.
was low. I think he didn't want to go into a forest temple with low health.
Yeah, it's really smart too, especially in Forest Temple, because in Forest Temple you have to do 2 sets of Stalfos fights, and those guys, if they jump slash you, hit you for 2 hearts, and if they just neutral slash you, hit you for 1 heart. So you don't want to die to them, obviously, because if you die, it's gonna lose all the time. So, pretty smart. I think it's like 9 seconds lost to get the heart, but it can end up saving the run later on.
Yeah, it's a little far away, sadly. You have a little bit of extra movement.
Alright, Judo getting the jump here. That's the famous parkour jump that loses like
World
20
record
seconds.
fails.
World record fails it and loses 20 seconds. It's miserable. Judo opting to... Yep, just opting to hook shot it and get it out of here. Ooh. No cutscene boost with the jump slash.
How much does the cutscene skip saves here?
The cutscene boost for Judo?
The cutscene skip. Like, you know, with the bottle. At the enter of forest.
Oh, well, you don't have to watch that Pogue cutscene like most of it. I honestly don't know how much it saves. But
it's drop and catch,
maybe...
so you lose 10. So let's say the cutscene was 15 or 20, it's like 5 to 10 seconds.
I think I knew at one point, but yeah, it was around 10 seconds or 15 seconds or something. So
I didn't think about that time save for the bottle route.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Me neither. I've never considered that. Bottle route is really nice though, because like bottle against Ganondorf is
it's especially nice for DC because you can hookshot jump. But then,
Oh yeah, the Doom jump thingy. Oh yeah.
yeah, that's the whole idea. But sadly, it's a little bit contradictory for N64 because N64 goes to DC before grabbing the hook shot.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So that's a little bit where the hook shot jump route kind of dies. It's that it would fit N64, but then the route doesn't match. Oh,
Ooh,
first
nice.
pause. Man, Judo's on fire.
Dude, Judo's
So
playing
that
crazy.
boost skips like a whole part of the dungeon because he can grab that upper ledge. That's really important. And that's also half a heart of the cost and one bomb. So that's something both players are going to be monitoring throughout the forest temple. It's going to be health and explosives.
Both players in Forest Temple now. So Judo's got one more ground jump here to do, and then he's got to do this jump across this block called Impossible Jump. This is probably one of the scarier moments in the temple.
Okay,
Nice.
yes, he was really close to the corner. I was scared he would clip.
Yeah, if he would have clipped, that would have been territory for Dotzo to catch up, like, dramatically.
Dotso's still a bit behind, like at the first key. But Judo's playing really fast.
Did you see Judo hug the wall there a little bit? Looks like he was afraid of hitting that that Navi load trigger.
Yeah, you have to be surprisingly close to the side of this mini alley to actually like not trigger it. I was surprised often that like if you're a tiny bit like out of the wall, not hugging it, then triggers Navi. Oh, also struggling a little bit on this clip.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
this clip is a little bit the same thing as what you do for Shadow BK skip. So you want to be pressing target on the first frame of the animation of Link grabbing the ledge.
Nice. So Judo finishing up Forest. Really, the only reason why he was in here to begin with was just to get this bow. Again, like half of what you do in this route is literally just so you can shoot Ganondorf with the one light arrow. And
Yeah,
this is part of
that's
that.
the biggest restriction for the whole routing of this category is you need to be able to shoot light arrows.
Right. There is a way to get light arrows without having to watch light arrow cutscene, but it involves get item delay, which is part of the ban
Obviously,
glitches. So
item manipulation.
item
Obviously.
manipulation is banned. Yeah, you're not allowed to do it in this category. All right, let's see how Dotzo's impossible jump goes here. As long as he gets it, there's still like definitely hope for him.
ESS setup. He's got
Nice.
it. If you get the early first roll, usually is that you got it.
Alright, so Judo's gonna be inside this cutscene for like another 5 minutes. I think it's like 5.5 minutes total. I think it's the longest cutscene in the game as well. It's really, really long.
Yeah, there's very few contenders for that. There's like the one after Forest, because
Yeah,
you
that
have
one's
to talk to
miserable.
the Deku Tree Sprout.
That's a miserable cutscene as well. I think that one's like 4 minutes though, or like 3 minutes and 45. It's really, really long. It's longer than Master Sword cutscene.
Yeah, but Light Arrow, it must be like almost everything. Maybe there's some cutscene that we never watched, like Ocarina of Time or things like that. But it's not 5 minutes, yeah. It's probably
Nice.
the longest then.
That fight that Dato had was actually really solid. It looked like it at least.
Yeah, I mean he's been fighting those stoppos during the
Dude,
recent things that he does.
Dotzo is actually on PB pace. He could actually get a PB off of this. His PB's 123 like 11 or 123.15. He's on pace for a high 122 right now, so he's having a pretty solid run.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So Bull was basically 105 for Dotso, and for Judo it was something like 103. So 2 minutes of difference between both players, and still something like 30 seconds of lag to go through for Judo. Okay, not much to talk about during the light arrow cutscene, so it's just a very, very long cutscene that gives you the light arrows, and
Yeah, at the
otherwise you're
very
going to
end.
have them to shoot on Ganondorf.
Yep. So once these guys are done here, they're going to be heading over to Ganon's castle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a few significant tricks in there, and some fights that can lose some time. And at the end of it, there's quite a bit of RG with
Yeah, it
Void
starts by
Warrior.
the skip of like the entire trials thingy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, trial skip.
So
Very
in
good
in
sequence
Ganon's
break.
Tower, like you have like mini dungeons of like forest, water, and all of that, like mini puzzles that you have to complete technically. But you actually completely skip that with just a bomb trick. So we still have to watch Zelda get carried out in a big pink rupee crystal. It's a pretty advanced kind of jail, and it can also teleport.
It is. It's very advanced. Actually, we're gonna see it again later. Okay, so Judo out of Lax. He's got the light arrow now. He's gonna be heading over towards Ganon's castle. Dotso probably like maybe another minute and a half or so of the cutscene, if that. Nah, maybe like a minute.
So since Judo has watched a Light Arrow cutscene, then the game basically considered he's done with all of the dungeons. So the only check that is done so that you can trigger Light Arrow cutscene is that you have the medallion from Spirit Temple and from Shadow Temple, because those two are supposedly conditioned by the others. And so since you have that, you can get light arrows. And as soon as you have watched the light arrow cutscene, you also get what you're watching on Judo screen right now, which is the opening of Rainbow Road, so that you can smoothly go into Ganon's Tower.
Yep, quote unquote smoothly. Even though I have seen people fall off this bridge. Just throwing it out there.
It's not too bad of a time lapse, but it still feels really bad.
Yeah, it feels terrible.
So Judo is going to go for the trial skip. So the trials are all of the doors that you see on the side, and they're supposedly maintaining like a shield barrier. And he's going for right side hop.
Yep. Let's see if he got the side hop. Mega side hop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he failed
Oh,
it. Okay.
no.
So he had the good height, but sadly he hit the wrong wall. The wall that he wanted to hit was a little bit more left behind him. And so the entire wall is just like, oh, did that fail?
It should be good.
Okay.
There
Okay,
we go.
there we go. And so the big wall, like one of the side of this tower is actually a complete loading plane that loads you to the inside. And on the floor, it's just guarded by something that's basically the size of a fence that would be like Link's shoulder height. So you can use the stairs and this little hover to just get on top of that and hit the load.
All right, so Judo coming up on the first nail biter fight here. So these Stalfos, oh my god, he almost got hit there. That was actually what I was about to.
The
If they
first
hit
one was
you,
super scary.
yeah, if they hit you with a jump slash, you die. If like 2 hearts, you would have died. So he got lucky in that fight, but that was a really good fight. Besides that,
Oh, he's got less than 2 hearts?
he has 2 hearts.
Oh, he
right
has
now.
2 hearts.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So if he would have gotten hit, that would have been like 25 seconds at least.
But there's
Lost.
not many ways to actually grab hearts over there. Like it's not too easy. You could kind of hope that one of the Stalfos is going to drop something like that. Okay, double knuckles here. No dropping bomb strat.
Dotzo opting to save there. Looks like Judo's good, man. This is a good fight. Very nice. Good double knuckle fight for Judo.
So saving here on Dotzo's side is because if he dies or reset, he will be still at the entrance of Ganon's castle. Wow.
That was the sickest strat of
I
that.
have
Like,
never seen that.
I've never seen that version of the strat. That was sick. That's, dude.
Big respect, Dotzo.
That was
Like
that
you
was
now.
so cool, dude. I've never seen that version of the strat. Somebody clip that, please. And save it. Give it to me. Message me. Smash back on your
But it's got to be somehow hard. Yeah, I think you have very few frames for this.
Oh my god, I'm still geeking out over it. It was like the swaggiest version of that strat I've ever seen, dude.
I'm trying to think of it, like, where do you line up? What do you do?
And it's easier, apparently, according to Quick Kieran. What? I'm gonna have to look into that. That's sick.
The thing is, like, you're gonna obviously have less roll frame, and it's gonna be tied, like, it's gonna be linked to when you press shield, so you have to press shield pretty late so that you actually, like, get the bomb to explode before it drops on the ground. If the bomb is on the ground on the same place as you, even if there's a wall in front of you, it's frame perfect to not get damaged. So it's the same thing for Hessing, and we tested that recently for Enter Deku. But yeah, it looks so good. Even if it's a bit harder, I might give it a go. If I ever get into Ganon's Tower.
If you ever get into Ganon's Tower. Because every category you do just does credit warps. I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot faster on N64. But okay, so Judo is starting with Ganondorf fight.
Nice. Good fight so far.
Oh, did that hit?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, so lag reduction made me
nice.
think it maybe didn't hit, but it did. Oh, it looks really clean. Stun lock is now.
Nice. Good Ganondorf fight from Judo.
And you're going to be seeing Ganondorf coughing red blood on Judo's screen, and on Dotzo's screen, it's going to be green blood. So that's one of the adjustments that they did from version 1.0 and from 1.2. Another thing is the symbols that you see on the mirror shield. So both players are wearing the mirror shield, so you can actually look up for it.
Pay close
if you didn't
attention.
know.
All right, so we got our RNG trick here. I don't actually know if Judo goes for initial position setup. I think he goes for the backup.
Does.
He does? Okay.
Yeah, he goes for initial, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's his main category. Like, I would believe that he goes for fast strats everywhere.
Right. Let's see how Jotso's Ganondorf fight goes.
It's gonna be a lot less laggy, at least.
Oh, way
Looks
laggy.
like
It's
it
gonna be
looks
way
like
fast.
Dennis came out there. Oh, okay, he's jumping at the last moment.
Ooh,
Story
was
jump
smart.
dash before.
that was good. That was really smart, actually.
Yeah, it leaves you more time to get ISG in case you're having troubles. And Woodwork went just fine on Judo's side. It was first try, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he's side hopping down unloaded room here to the loading zone that heads to the end of the tower.
Yeah, otherwise you would need to like go through a bunch of rooms by following Zelda, and you also have a Stalfos fight with some mini cutscenes. And Void Warp skips all of that. I don't know how much that is, like 3 minutes also?
Void Warp saves 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
I want to say, yeah, it's like 2
Yeah.
minutes.
We're giving round numbers, nothing too precise. And so here, what Judo is watching is collapse cutscene, and you have rocks that are randomly jumping around during the explosion. Those rocks are completely RNG, and depending on how many and which movement they have, the amount of lag differs quite a bit. You can have differences in just this cutscene by, let's say, 4 to 5 seconds, and those numbers are on VC. So on N64, I would guess that it's a big 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, Dotzo went for initial too. Oh, it looked like he stepped.
He
Oh,
stepped.
he stepped.
He didn't catch. Well, he's got another heart, so he's fine. This is the reason why it's good to have a lot of health.
A rock immediately aggroing him.
Oh no. Okay, it's getting kind of scary now.
Dotzo to get the setup done. Was that a good angle?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
He should be still good. He's good.
Ooh, that rock rebound was
Oh
kinda
my God.
scary.
Yeah, if that rock would have, if it would have fell like 2 or 3 frames earlier, he would have gotten hit by that instead. Because the explosion from the bomb actually takes like 2 frames before it actually hits you, even though you see the explosion. All right, so let's see if Judo gets a solid super slide here.
Dotzo going for a super slide. Oh, that's pretty risky because.
Ooh.
Oh no!
No,
way,
get away! No, he's
Get
dead.
away! Oh, he's dead. Oh,
That's it.
snap! And now he has 2 bombs left because he went for the super slide.
Why would he do that?
So that means it's either first try here, and then 1 bomb super slide, or it's a really long Ganondorf fight.
He's forgetting the setup. He's choking. He was on PB pace up till this point, by the way. He's no longer in PB pace. No.
No rocks. Oh,
Okay,
no.
alright.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That was so close.
So, Dotso's gonna have to go for 1 bomb super slide into Ganon. I don't even know, like, if he practices that or whatever, but it's considerably more difficult than 2-bomb super slide. So
I think he's
see what
just gonna
happens.
try to wing it, and happens what happens, because no one really knows which frame you have to roll on.
All right, Judo's fighting up against Ganon here. Looks like Judo's actually having a pretty weird race, or sorry, weird fight against. Wow, so that was his first phase against Ganon. Hopefully the second phase is a bit cleaner, because Ganon reacts a lot more on the second phase when he's like in the... So even though he just got his Master Sword, he's actually had Master Sword for the first phase of the fight too, because he did a super slide into the cutscene, and the super slide allows you to hold shield, which when you're holding shield during the cutscene, you don't actually lose the Master Sword when Ganon does the slashes. Yeah, he's having a pretty scary fight.
Yeah, there's some sloppy rolls. Okay, we're good. It's gonna be GG for Judo really soon.
I don't understand, but apparently Dotzo is still on PB pace even after all that.
They don't go for ISG. I think it's because it's Link adult, so
It's
he's
time
just
for
taller. And
Judo. 121.
29 on his timer, so it's usually
Yeah.
3-4 seconds difference with
121.31 official SL time. GG.
Nice. GG. Ooh, Dotso going for the 1-bomb. Almost got it.
Didn't work.
Great race. Very good race.
It was really
GG's to Judo.
close. Sadly, it didn't go like one side to another. It was like always on the advantage of Judo, but definitely caught up Dotso and was kind of tight. It's gonna end up with what, 3 minutes difference, something like that. 3 or 4 minutes, and then it's mostly due to Dotso dying to that. Can we call that a zombie? A re-dead?
Re-dead, yep. Basically a zombie. $121.29 is actually a pretty solid time for a race, dude. It's like a really good time for a race.
Dotso using the hook shot, so everything is pretty much equal. If you don't have the Master Sword, everything deals 1, and you need 10 hit for the first phase. But that was a really clean 10 hits. That was the fastest 10 hookshot hits I've ever seen. Is Judo available for an interview?
I can ask him. Let me see.
Cool. Oh, Dotso picking up magic for the first time during Ganondorf 5. During Ganon 5, excuse me. Things getting a bit scary. So when you go for that crouch stab option, the thing is, after you hit the tail, the next cycle, the tail goes a lot upper and it gets harder to hit it. Oh, I just heard he said he's available.
Yeah.
Nice. We're gonna get Judo for our interview.
Both will join us for an interview, actually.
Ooh,
Excellent.
nice.
right, Judo's in the waiting room. And Dotzo.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Much?
Well, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a competitive race. There was definitely moments where we thought you were going to catch up, Dotso, against Judo, especially with Judo failing the first super slide to the mirror shield.
Yeah,
I was like,
I thought it was over. I didn't watch any of the streams, so I have no idea my pace. relative to
same.
Dotso.
Oh, okay. That can help taking some decisions sometimes. Like we've seen people taking safe strats sometimes, and it's kind of good. It's allowed.
All right.
yeah. So, but Dotso, look, the two bomb super slide there for the double kiss attempt. Could you give us like an explanation of kind of what was on your mind at that?
So I'd routed all my bombs, so that was possible. And it does save time if you're not a complete idiot and fail it, and then get killed by the redead with your 5 hearts. Oh my
That's right.
god.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm always super paranoid about that super slide. I only go for it if I'm like going full try hard.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the
Dotso
thing
had
about
4
that.
bombs, so it was a tough choice because if you fail it, or even if you make it, then it's only 1 try super slide for the Gen 5. So I don't know if I would have taken that trade.
Dotso,
Yeah, plus-
you were on PV pace. It looked like
I think so. I
you
don't
were on
remember
pretty
actual PV pace,
severe like PV pace at that point, like by at least like 15-20 seconds, I think, at that point.
Hmm.
What was the
Yeah,
big
probably.
downfall?
I don't know what happened in Spirit. All of Spirit was the combination of a brain fart and a Twin Rova fight that I cannot explain.
Oh, you
Oh.
got insanely lucky with like nonsense shots that were like on top of you and things like that. Yeah, Rova was really weird.
I only counted 3. My chat also only counted 3. So I
Really?
don't know what happened.
you got a double somehow,
That was weird.
but yeah. Besides the redead, there was nothing too bad going on Dotso's run. Mostly pretty clean. It was the child section costing most of the time, I would say.
Yeah, bad child, and I failed the Hess. Judogerudo Valley.
I also failed dot skip.
Oh yeah, you avoided a dot skip judo, and then biggest problem started to be on Hyro Field, so start of heavy movement. You lost a lot of bombs, and then you had to go for some
Yeah.
choices. Like you cut Wasteland Hess.
Well, I haven't done that yet, so that's normal for me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like saving bombs.
I mean, like it's a combination of that. That's why I didn't do the ground clip gate skip
Okay.
because my bomb count was bad. But yeah, I don't normally do Wasteland Hess anyway, so that's sort of why I had Mirror Shield with like 6 bombs or something like that, or 4. But
Oh, true. You had a lot, yeah. But other than that, that was a pretty clean run. Like, yeah, not so much like huge mistake. No one failed Spirit, however. I was a little scared because Dotso didn't get the Gui to attack him, so it was
Oh.
kind of clutchy.
also, oh yeah, I also had I failed the trial skip first time because I guess I cracked my angle soon enough.
Oh yeah, it looks like you hit the other wall that was more on the right, as if Link didn't go left enough.
Yeah, because what I usually do is I hold upright and for a second, and then once he's near the wall, I switch to holding up, and that's sort of straight backwards, so it's kind of a safe thing to do. But I guess I I did that too late.
Yeah, and then Dotzo pulled out like the sickest mega side hop over there, like with like so you do it with bomb overhead for some reason, and from the wall.
Yeah, so I was practicing that and trying to find a way to do a left side hop, left mega side hop, so you have more frames to equip the boots. I couldn't get
Yeah.
it to work with how I do mega side hops from farther than against the wall. So I knew if you're against a wall or you have hover boots on, you can do mega side hops and probably mega flips and also Hess the same way MM does, where you just drop it and roll.
Yeah.
But you have to do it way later. And it's really awkward to time, but I like that strat.
Yeah, it's really, really late, and then it's a quick shield and roll, I would guess, so that you want the explosion not to hit the ground.
Yeah, it's immediately roll.
But it looks
I-
really sick. Like, oh,
I
my
assume
brain
it's-
was blown out.
I assume it's synonymous with the timing of like standing Hess with hover boots.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
it's
same.
probably
It's exactly the
something
same.
like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Which
I've
re-
never
which
seen
read-
that strat.
Hmm.
Say again, Judo. You kind of broke up a bit.
Which redead gave Dotzo some trouble?
The last one in the game.
The last one. So you know when you go for super slide to get double keys before collapse cutscene?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, so super slide failed, and Dotso decided to go backwalking. And I'm pretty sure if you backwalk, you always get aggroed.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that happened with my last race, and I almost died. So that's why I more.
You just roll forward. It's safer.
Yeah.
And how much is it? Like double kiss is like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I'm not really sure.
It's not worth. It's totally not worth it.
Not in the race.
But oh well. Okay, so do we know which opponents you're having, or that was round 2 and we not yet know? I don't have the bracket open right now.
I have bracket open, so Judo is going to be advancing into losers round 3, and his opponent is not yet made. Let's
It will
Just
be-
wait for Claire and YOLO.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Claire Yolo or Dopmeister will be. And sadly,
Okay.
Correct.
Dotzo is gone. No,
That's
Dotzo.
out of the tournament. I'm so sad.
Eliminated from one of 3 tournaments. All right, good enough.
Hey, thank you for competing in this one, though. It's pretty cool to see like runners that have been away from the category for a while return and do pretty well. So that was pretty good.
That's pretty cool of you to do, but it's got to be hard to do both Rando tournament and No I'm Wrong World tournament.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's rough.
Oh, for
But
ZSR?
this got me
Oh,
really
for
excited
that
for this
too.
category again. So.
Yeah, you were, like I said, you were on PB pace there, man, and you messed up quite a bit at Void Warp. So I mean, if you just have a solid Void Warp on the same pace, you're probably gonna get like a 121 or 122 or something easily.
Yeah, maybe it's time to come back to RTA and break your old PBs. More experience.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we say goodbye to Dotzo. We'll see him plenty in the next few weeks, anyways, on the ZSR restream. So,
Yeah, I'll be around.
he'll be around. GG to Judo for making it to losers round number 3, and a big shout out to Arthur and Smash Mag for doing comms today.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having
guys.
us.
Thank you, Trez.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
If you want to see more action on CSR, come back in around 90 minutes for the OTR accessible weekly NA. Otherwise, we'll have plenty of matches in the next few weeks, including the 3 tournaments we're currently covering. So yeah, until then,
Oh yeah, well, isn't there another No I'm Wrong World tournament like happening like, at the same time as this one? Did that end yet?
the Rendo tournament.
Or the same tournament because there was.
Yes, actually, Judo, but it's not being restreamed.
Wait, there's
Okay.
another No I Am Wrong tournament?
Well, not a
N-
tournament, but a
another
race in a tournament.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, the other one. That's correct. It's actually Diamond Flash versus
In Asder.
Esther. Yeah, they are going on right now.
Yeah, they started like half an hour after us.
Yep. So I'm
Okay, cool.
pretty sure you will find their streams on SL or something. And
Right.
all right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I hope I catch you all later.
Catch
Bye.
up.
Take it easy.